Hello. Hey, thanks for being here. My name is Dr. Susan Plank. I'm a functional nutritionist, and I'm talking about in this little presentation why can't I lose weight inflammation causes. Okay, so there is a larger uh, webinar that goes into more diverse, but I wanted to break that down. And so in this one, we're going to keep it short and sweet, talking about inflammation. So again, my name is Dr. Susan Plank. I want you breaking through barriers to fuel your health and empower your weight loss. I want this done quickly. I don't want you getting bored. I don't want you getting frustrated. I don't want you getting stuck. I want results for you. So again, we're discussing inflammation. Inflammation, we think of it as a swollen joint, a sprained ankle, something along those lines. That can be symptoms of an injury to a joint. But when it comes to your weight, inflammation, I'm thinking whole body. You're going to have pain at various places. Yes, you could still have joint pain, but you might have joint pain that moves around. You might have digestive pain. You might have bloating. You might feel sluggish and fatigued. You might be experiencing rashes, and even the rashes move around and come and go. So when we're looking at systemic, your whole body, which I always need to do when we're talking weight loss, weight affects your whole body, the mechanisms causing it. We need to look at whole body health then. So the causes of inflammation, yes, you can have injury like I said, you sprain an ankle, but when it refers to weight, food is number one, stressors, emotional and physical, number two, and number three, a silent or an overlooked infection. As you can imagine, all of these will continue to injure other parts of the body, and therefore the inflammation continues. So when we're talking about acute and chronic, food tends to be chronic. We tend to be creatures that we find comfort in food. We like to cook the foods that are comforting to us, or that our mothers or family members cooked for us. And so we tend to see that food is more of chronic inflammation and causes weight gain over a longer time. Injury tends to be acute. Again, back to the sprained ankle. You twist your ankle, there's an acute injury. You're going to get better. Typically, it's going to take a week, maybe a couple of weeks, but you're going to get better. It's short lived. That's the acute. Infection can be acute or chronic. Most of the time, I'm talking about chronic. I'm looking for chronic parasitic digestive infections that have been there most likely for years and sometimes decades for folks. We're seeing chronic infections now with something like COVID or hepatitis, right? Mononucleosis. We see those as being extended, more chronic than, say, a sore throat that you have it, and then again, 3 to 5 days later, you feel better. And stressors, we all tend to discount, oh no, I'm not under that much stress. Stress is chronic, emotional stress, financial stress, right? Physical stresses tend to be chronic. All of those cause inflammation and lead to weight gain. So again, the biggest ones I'm worried about specifically for weight and getting the person to start losing that weight is identifying the foods that are inflammatory for the person, identifying where their stress, adrenal stress hormones are at. Maybe we can identify situations and help change the situation. But in reality, how many people are stressed out for their job and they can't just turn around, and just quit work and start a new job that easily? So we have to, though, find what's going on, what's causing the inflammation. Again, these are causes. And then we have to go about how can we start to offer some balance and support the person so we can minimize the inflammation causing the weight gain, but also it's causing the inability of them to now lose the weight. So inflammation, when it's related to food, it's the processing of food, eating highly processed foods, packaged. They're whether it's what's added into them or how they're adulterated or how they're cooked or processed. We have to take that into account. How much or what foods the person is eating. Are they mostly pressed for time and they're taking a lot of fast food or eating on the fly? And then food patterns. So something like a lot of folks trying to lose weight maybe have tried the keto diet. Well, number three and number four sort of go together this way because the keto diet goes on heavy fat, right? Higher protein sometimes, but higher fat. But it's where that fat is coming from. So when we talk about number four, food sensitivities, those foods that during a keto diet, high in dairy, high in beef, right? Pork, maybe. These foods, although they might fit the keto diet, they're highly inflammatory. So they're often causes why I see, especially women, they get so frustrated when they tried the keto diet and maybe they lose some weight really quickly and then they just sort of plateau. Or maybe they don't even lose the weight and it just adds to more frustration because the foods that someone is picking are inflammatory for them. Okay? So again, reiteration, the processing, the packaging, we want higher vegetable intake. The higher vegetables, the lower inflammation tends to be in the diet. I want a higher fiber. I want low sugar. I prefer no milk, no dairy at all, especially in women. Tends to be very inflammatory. But there was a research study done on this food pattern for menopausal women, and the group that fared the best with lowering high blood pressure and cholesterol patterns and lowering stroke risk was women higher fiber. They ate a lot of vegetables. I'm not talking about doing a fiber sludge drink, right? I'm talking about actually eating foods higher in fiber, lowering your sugar, and staying away from milk. Those women did miraculously, tremendously better than any other women in the group. And then food sensitivities, we tend to see dairy and gluten the highest. Eggs are up there too, egg whites and egg yolks. Those probably cover about 80% of my clients have those sensitivities. So I want you to think if you're trying to lose weight, uh, maybe that Greek yogurt, because it's dairy based, isn't the right food for you. Maybe it is, but maybe it isn't. We don't know. We have to uncover, we have to reveal what the causes are. Evening shade, that's tomatoes, that's peppers, eggplant. Those foods can be highly inflammatory, and especially for folks if they have an autoimmune condition disorder. Pop, soda, energy drinks, terrible, 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 terrible for causing inflammation and destroying, just wrecking, honestly, wrecking somebody's health like cigarette smoking does. So the effects we're seeing from inflammatory foods, they get into your body. The longer you're eating these foods, the longer you're sort of relying on them for some type of nourishment or comfort, they're going to disrupt your metabolism. They have the potential for causing insulin resistance. They're affecting your individual cells. That's why all this is happening. They will trigger cortisol release, which is a stress response. Cortisol, also known as the belly fat hormone, will make you gain weight. It'll do it very quickly when it's inflammation. The person will gain weight very quickly and they'll feel sort of like puffy, like a marshmallow. They just feel puffy and sluggish, and the digestion sluggish. They're unmotivated. They have no energy, and also too because of the processing of the foods and the inflammation itself, the body is becoming and the digestive system less efficient in handling these foods, and therefore we see more toxins build up over time. So I usually always start, I have a breakthrough program. I always want people to get healthier, whether it's digestion or lose the weight or more energy. And so I'm looking at labs and what labs do we have to do to make this a personalized approach for the individual. It breaks my heart when there's these great testing that can be done, and yet rarely do I see these tests ordered. So when we're talking inflammation, you don't have to order all of them, but in my practice, what I do is I typically order 2 or 3 at a time to see where we're at. So the HSCRP is specifically for heart and inflammation of the blood vessels, hypertension, folks, people with a family history of heart attacks and strokes, I would order. CRP and number 3, ESCRP. So CRP is C-reactive protein. ESR is erythrocyte sedimentation rate. These are both systemic, so they are whole body. Is there inflammation in the whole body? An elevated ferritin is actually an inflammatory marker, but it's reflective of how much iron is being stored in someone's organs. We want a sufficient amount of iron circulating, but iron, when it's stored, is named ferritin. We never want too much of a mineral being stored in organs because they can lose the pliability. Okay, so long-term inflammation can cause this ferritin in the tissues to increase, but the reality of it is the ferritin by itself increased over a specific level now becomes its own cause of inflammation. And then fibrinogen is actually a clotting factor for folks that have a family history or personal history of any type of blood disorder. So here's some results, 10-day results. This is a 54-year-old woman, states she's been big her whole life and can't lose weight, no matter what she does. The poor thing is just perpetually frustrated, had a hard time getting pregnant back in her 30s, blessed now with a couple of children that are now adults themselves, and said, Mom, please, we want you to take care of yourself. And she, over the last few years, has gained more weight, and she actually, I'm afraid for my health. So she's afraid for her own health and what the weight is doing to her health. So June 11th, this is a graphic of weight over time. The very first thing I do is I want people eating an anti-inflammatory diet. We take out the most common foods. We remove the most common foods that are inflammatory. So you can see here, June 11th, she was at 241. 10 days later, June 21st, 233. That's remarkable. Okay, remarkable. 8 pounds in 10 days. 8 pounds in 10 days, just removing inflammation, the inflammatory foods from her body. This is nothing else than removing inflammatory foods from her body. So thanks for listening. My name's Dr. Susan Plank of the Norland Wellness Center. I offer personalized solutions to help you break through your troubling health problems. And I have an upcoming weight loss program starting October 9th. I'd love for you to have join us. So please check out norwinwellness.com or send me a message. I'd love to chat to see how I can help. Okay, take care. Thanks for listening. Bye.